Meeting Satan, or the Peacock Angel. I have had experiences with the Peacock Angel before on several psychedelic trips and was obsessed with the peacock because of these experiences. Always thought it was an angel of God of some sort and must be good. I was so obsessed with the peacock after my experiences. My bed set was peacock, my shower curtains was peacocks, I had clothing, lamps, books, and everything I had was peacock, and I embodied the peacock to the fullest. My background, my work computers, everything was peacock. I took some Delicit 2.5 from Basel, Switzerland, or you could say I took another bite of that bittersweet forbidden fruit and found out the true liquid spiritual death. As the substance started to kick in, I was hanging out with my brother and having a good time, and I felt like I was coming down from the trip. And so my brother left the room to go to bed, and as soon as he shut the door, the room filled with nothing but darkness, and the most terrifying presence filled the room. It was like it was just waiting for my brother to leave. And then my eyes got filled with psychedelia. I couldn't even tell if my eyes was open or closed. And he came in the form of the most beautiful stained glass window you could ever imagine, with mystical peacock designs fluttering and shimmering throughout. Each psychedelic feather had a bell that would ring when he did what I call the peacock shiver, which is like a super complex, mystical sound, almost like wind chimes, but an angelic, mystical wind chime. The most beautiful sound and thing I've ever heard or seen in my entire life. But the most demonic, evil son of a bitch I've ever come across. I could feel fully this time. He was dark and evil, and this is when I got the cliche deal with the devil. He offered me anything I could ever imagine and showed me with each thing in my mind I could have had. Showed me being a famous occult leader. He showed me being a musician. He showed me being an amazing card artist. He showed me my cancer would go away, and he told me I could have anything I ever wanted, and my life would change tomorrow if I just consciously acknowledge God's existence and the complete separation from Him. And I have to add, if Christmas was actually about Christ, which it isn't whatsoever, we wouldn't decorate with the designs of the anointed cherub himself. Bells, balls, and all. Don't be deceived like I was. I always thought, how can the peacock angel be bad? Well, he revealed to me who he really was. And Satan does come as an angel of light. This is the best visual representation I could ever possibly create, and it still doesn't do it justice, but best I could ever possibly create with a photo edit, because the complexity was so hard to even comprehend fully. But it was like stained glass, iridescent, peacock shimmering colors with bells straight up like jingle bells on each feather. The most beautiful thing I ever heard or seen, but incredibly evil, and I could feel that fully during this experience. I almost even peed myself because I was too afraid to even leave my room or move. I was just sitting there, half in reality and half in the spirit world. I kept wanting to call out to Christ, scratching myself violently, but he could hear my thoughts as I was contemplating calling out to Christ, and he was like even mocking me and daring me, like, I dare you to say that name. You have no power in that name. And it terrified me. He kept saying it was already too late for me and freaking me out, but a small warm voice in the back of my mind, in the back of my head, was saying if it is true and it's already too late, he wouldn't be here trying so hard to convince me it's too late. So it's not too late. I never did get the courage to speak the name of Christ. When the experience started to fade, he made sure to let me know this isn't the end, and I'd get another chance to reject God and follow him. And people asked me what he sounded like, and he didn't really speak like me and you. It started off as gibberish and then started to articulate into what seemed like an ancient language like Enochian or Aramaic. But it was like he was speaking in every language on earth and every language that will or has ever been spoken all simultaneously. It was maddening to your conscious mind, and your conscious mind couldn't comprehend what was being said, but your soul could understand it fully. also shows he's a being far beyond our simple understanding, and he has literally been around for almost forever. So to think we can outsmart him on our own is insane. We definitely need Christ. And it's like with heaven, imagine a place so completely pristine and literally perfect paradise. But let's say this place is your mom's house. You have been walking around outside, your shoes will get shit on them. You having a moral compass, for one, you wouldn't even want to step foot in such a perfect place with dirty shoes on. And God doesn't want that in his perfection either. Even if it is just a small piece of dirt or one sin, if he lets one soul in with sin, he's not unjust. So he'd have to let them all in, and it would no longer be perfect because there is dirt or sin. So Christ acts like a freaking wet wipe to wipe our shoes before entering. And there is so many laws, it's impossible to follow them all. You're bound to break one. Hell, I wouldn't want heaven to be stained by my sin either, as oil does not mix with water, nor the living with the dead, nor does light mix with darkness, so too God does not mix with evil at all. When people think of Satan, they think he's a red monster with a pitchfork. Well, he's not. He's the most beautiful thing you could ever comprehend.